Hey, folks, are you ready for this? Yeah, today, welcome to the show. Today, I've been working on this guy for at least 5 years, but he's been so crazy busy because he's a big dog. He is a big dog. He's the superintendent of Freeman School in Rockford, Washington. I think for 15, 16 years. He's been there a long time. He's also running his own consulting firm, well sought, a high demand, a decade and a half doing the work of really just elevating the all of the goodness of people so that systems run reliably across the country. Dr. Randy Russell, welcome to the show.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Appreciate it. What an honor, my friend. I get motivated by you every week. I've told you that before. I've loved our conversations throughout the years, and I'm humbled and honored to be with you today. This is
Not Yeah, not many of my guests, my parents would probably allow me to play with as a child, but you're just one of those just righteous dudes. I
oh,
so appreciate I wanna start right here. So, Freeman, Rockford, Washington. I was gonna say Wisconsin, come on.
yeah,
Washington. You've been there for 15 plus years.
yeah.
Wow, that's like, 7 superintendencies in the same district. When
It
you
sure
think about
is.
it, you've got credentials to be anywhere. What kept a guy like you in a small rural community?
Yeah, really it's been the Freeman family, Joe, is
Mm,
what we call it. And the Freeman family is this incredible connection between our kids, the students that we're serving. They start here when they're 3 or 4 because we don't have preschool out in the rural area of Freeman. We're just outside of Spokane, Washington, which is a 500,000 people, but people want their children in a small rural setting, and so they start here and we get to keep them until they graduate. And then what's really cool is that they leave and then they are reminded of how great of an experience they had while they were here
uh,
as a student. So then
and
they move back
and
and they bring their kids.
look at that.
We've got these generations of families that have been here for 5, 6, 7, 8 generations of kids coming through Freeman. We have an incredible staff. I love our staff. They are the core of who we are. And then we've got this incredible set of parents and grandparents and community members, people that don't even have kids or grandkids
Right.
in the school district that'll be here tonight at the middle school musical celebrating our kids. I mean, there's no other place that I'd rather be.
I'm not seeing what I see across America where that external problem, there are a lot of problems in public education right now, and this is not a podcast to talk about them. We're going to talk about what is right in the world. But one of the external problems is that communities are losing trust in their local school district. But
Yeah.
I'm not hearing that because of the Freeman family. You have built you've built credibility, you've built good character, you built the competence that your families are saying, no, 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 we want the best for our best, which happens to be our children, right?
Yes, yes,
So,
absolutely. Yeah,
so
and
good.
when you
Congrats.
get to be a school of choice where you have families that want to choice their kids in, and then you have staff who are choosing
Yeah.
to be here, and our neighbors can pay so much more. They're bigger systems, their salaries are much bigger, and all of us have chosen to be here knowing that we could work in a bigger system for a heck of a lot more money. And that's not what's driving people here, Joe. And you can tell it when kids show up, when people come on campus. I mean, I've never been around a harder working staff in my
Mm.
whole career than the people that are here. And it's not a job for any of us, right? It's all about we get to serve. We get to serve these amazing kids, and family in our community has thanked us. And that's why people stay for 30 years or 15 years as the superintendent.
I wonder what year was it, because there's a lot of really, really good consulting firms out there that are looking for high caliber superintendents. How many years ago were they just like, don't bug this guy because he's not picking up the phone anymore? You must get just like hit on a regular basis to say there's a much bigger place for you. But you've
Yeah,
chosen, I love that word, you've chosen to stay where your families are choosing to send their learners. So
yeah.
good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you appreciate it makes you feel good when somebody calls or knocks on the door and says, "Hey, we'd love to have you think about and, consider this." And, part of what's kept me here has been our 2 youngest kids have been able to go to school in Freeman, one of them from 2nd grade until they graduated, and Ryan's gonna get his college degree next week in Phoenix down at Grand Canyon University.
Amazing.
And I got to give him his diploma, Joe, which is still one of the highlights of my entire life. And then Riley, our youngest, who's a senior this year in high school, she gets to graduate here in 2 months. I'm gonna give her her diploma, and we're gonna have 3 graduates, Ryan from college, Riley from high school, and finally, Joe, after 55 years of being in school, I get to graduate this year.
Commencement it is called, which means you're going someplace.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
We're gonna unpack that. We're gonna unpack that. But I don't wanna diminish. I mean, you've stayed small, which you've stayed local, which I believe arguably some of the hardest work out there is in the small district because
Mhm.
you don't quite have the resources that other larger systems have. You have to be much more creative. You
Yeah,
you have to get the capacity out of all of your people to
yes,
truly deliver highly reliable. So you've been working extremely hard for the last 15 plus years, but you've also got a nationally known consulting firm
yeah,
RLR,
yeah,
which it's a well-known name out there. I'm wondering how do you find that there's no such thing as balance? So I don't use that word, right?
right.
How do you effectively, lead the system to the level that it is, which is the standard out there, folks, and also have the time to go out and help other leaders expand their influence and empowerment and building trust and all of the things that they're doing.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Joe. I really appreciate it. It's very humbling to be a part of such a highly impactful and effective organization, and we've gotten so much help, right, over the years. I mean, we've been through some tough stuff in Freeman.
Yeah.
We've been through a shooting here, where we lost a student, and had 2 students, severely injured. We had a fire that destroyed, Freeman families' homes. We had families that were leaving their property with their clothes on, and that was it. And then we had COVID. So we've had these 3
Right.
really challenging things, and what we've seen, Joe, is people kept showing up for us. They kept showing up. They were here. They wanted to help. They wanted to serve us. They weren't asking for anything in return, and quite honestly, that is what spurred the consulting work. I'm like, "You know what? I have been reinvigorated by this incredible support and help and service," and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I need to step my game up here. I need to be able to help in a more impactful way than just being the leader here. So 80 hours a week as the superintendent of Freeman is a perfect spot to be. But there's a whole lot of time and I'm an early guy in the morning. I love
Sure.
to get up early
It
and
doesn't surprise me.
I want to get after it. And just being able to see the impact that our team has made because we're not just helping school districts. Now we're helping businesses and organizations. We're currently working with 2 agencies who their focus is on housing for no and low income families. It's
Wow.
some of the greatest work we've been a part of, and it gives me goosebumps thinking about we're helping communities change their entire platform, their entire family's lives about where they're living.
Well, if you're changing family trees, friend, I don't want to go to the next question before if there's somebody dialed in right now going, well, how do I learn more about this work? Can you give just a quick little commercial, 20 seconds or less?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, we're helping people figure out, like, how can they access the resources and support that they really need to level the playing field, right? We're trying to level the playing field for every kid in Freeman so that they can get a great education.
So
Well,
somebody's already lit up. Like, no, I next step. What's my call to action? How do I find this guy? Where do I find your books? How do I book a call?
gotcha. So it's really easy. It's just randyrussell.org. and it's through RLR Leadership Consulting, and we have a phenomenal team. I'm in awe of them, Joe. They're great at what they do, and they're even better human beings.
Mm, mm. Better human beings creating conditions to create better human beings. I can't think of a more worthy work, a more worthy work. But back to the day job, okay? So here, the problem landscape. So rural districts across America are getting squeezed from every direction,
Yep.
right? Enrollment, they're not making any more 18-year-olds. They're not
Right.
making any more 9-year-olds. I mean,
Exactly.
this enrollment decline across there's teacher recruiting in markets that just can't compete anymore. Miss Becky loses teacher colleagues about every month to districts that are just paying more.
Yeah.
And it breaks her heart. So see, not being able to compete on salary with a suburb maybe 20 miles away. State accountability systems that are really designed probably more at urban scale
Mhm.
in mind, and more that national conversation on high performing districts. It almost features someone with a 10,000 student
Yep.
district and not yours, not your profile. So that's the sector. Walk me through what's actually happening in rural K-12 these days.
Yeah, we've become everything that an entire family needs,
Mm,
because they may not be able to find it somewhere else. So, for example, we were talking about preschool or supporting kids at the young age, talking about activities. Our school is the center of the community. When you want to have access to a gymnasium at 6 a.m. in the morning, right? You're going to come to Freeman. We just hosted a service. Unfortunately, we lost an alumni, and they needed a place big enough to be able to do the memorial service.
yeah.
And we've hosted multiple memorial services over the years for families because there's not a place big enough for them to bring that many people in, you know? And so when you have that culture
Mm,
that you've established, and then people know, you know what, these folks are pretty good at what they do, but more importantly, they like really care about me. Like they have my best interest at heart. I know they're going to do their very best for my kid, and like they really care about my child. They care about my spouse. They care about you know, my mom who's here and needs a handicap parking spot for a softball game, and we need to find a very easy way. Well, we're going to let you take your car out to it, right? So you don't have to walk out to the field.
not that you don't have rules and regulations and policies, but my guess is what you're able to do. I love this quote, and it came from Andy Stanley actually. Do for one that you wish you could do for everyone.
Everybody.
It
Yep.
gives you the opportunity to go, a lot of our stuff is on a case by case basis,
Yes, it
right?
is.
Because
It
we
is.
see you, we value you, and we're going to fight for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you look at your rural superintendent colleagues across the nation, same pressures, right?
Mhm.
What do
Mhm.
you see many of them doing that just isn't working today?
Yeah, it really comes down to the board superintendent relationship, and it's around trust and communication,
Mm,
Joe. And I've never forgotten 15 years that although the school board here has allowed me to do my job as a superintendent, they are my bosses. And when they say jump, I have one question for them: how high? And people have either forgot that or don't go by that rule.
mm.
If you get to the point where you don't feel that you can jump, that's the keys on the desk moment. If you disagreed philosophically or you were asked to do something unethically, or that would be the keys on the desk moment. And I've never been put in a position by our school board in 15 years where I ever even questioned bringing the keys out of my pocket. Not
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
So then when you have your leadership team, which we've been together, most of us, right? I think 10 of us on the leadership team have been together all 15 years. And many of them started here as a teacher or a custodian or even a bus driver and have moved their way up into the director positions, the principal position. Lisa Phelan's been here for 30 years, Joe.
Oh my god.
Started as a teacher and a coach. She became the principal at the elementary, an assistant soup for me. She's now gonna be our superintendent when I'm done on June 30th. I am so excited. I'm pumped that Lisa's gonna be our superintendent.
I tell you what, that is the mark of an amazing. I don't care if it's a school district or you're selling, groceries. If you are pulling talent from the inside, if you're there's talent multiplication, and
Yeah.
then there are talent hoarders that
Yes.
oftentimes just don't allow their people to do what they would like to do. And it sounds like you've created just incredible opportunities for your people to continue to grow and build and next level, and you've coached them up at every level, every position. And what a wonderful case study. Somebody coming in within the district to clean up all the messes that you've created.
Yep,
Wow.
exactly. And Lisa will do an awesome job because she's been a part of it, right?
Yeah.
She's helped build everything that we've been working on, and she's gonna take us to the next level. We've also had some really incredible folks here who came and said, "Randy, I need the next challenge. I'm ready to take on a principal position or a superintendent position." And Joe, we'll have had 4 Freeman staff members who have become a superintendent during the past 15 years.
Some might look at that and say that's near weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
But it's not. It's very, very intentional,
it is.
very intentional.
Very
You've
intentional.
seen your people, you believe that their growth and development is part of the work, right? You're not just running a system, you're
Yeah.
building people. And what I love about your LinkedIn profile, okay, folks, you can check this. You can check speaker, author, consultant, team builder. You might find somewhere in there that he's a superintendent. But that's how you describe yourself, not just a superintendent. Most people in your seat in your office describe themselves by their title.
Yeah.
You describe yourself by what you do, sir. How has that wiring, that identity as a builder, right? As a consultant, how has that shaped how you lead a district differently than maybe a superintendent down the road?
Yeah, it has, and it really has come from that modeling of my parents, folks from, like, our church, people that have, been my teachers and coaches, models and mentors throughout the years, and I've always said this, I am the superintendent, but that's not who I really am. Like,
Mhm.
I get to be the superintendent, but who I really am is I'm a husband, I'm a father, right? I'm an uncle, I'm a friend, I'm a colleague. And then those other things you get to consult or speak or write. And it all, Joe, goes back in some way, shape, or form to my parents and teachers and coaches and mentors that I've had because they were all about service. They were never about title. And I love what Harry Amon would always tell me leadership is not about position, and I learned that very early. And then from John Maxwell, who's one of my favorites, right? Leadership is not about position, leadership is about influence. And
So good.
everything rises and falls with leadership.
So good.
Everything. Schools, organizations, churches, grocery stores, banks, the US, government, military, you name it, fill in the blank. Your local little league team. Everything rises and falls with leadership, and I've just believed that my whole life, and so, if you're doing a great job of serving and leading, I
Yep.
I just don't think you can go wrong because servant leaders are always looking at themselves first on how to improve and get better to help other people.
That's it. That's the significance. Somebody asked me the other day the definition of significance, and I was just like, it's for others.
It is.
So if you want to live a life of significance, it's not waiting until your all your points add up so you can retire in your state and then go sit on a bass boat someplace.
Right. Right.
No, it's still the worthy work is something that we do every day that we're given. Correct?
Absolutely.
So I am excited for you as you set sail, as your term comes to an end here and Lisa takes over, and
Yeah.
um I wonder what you are envisioning. So let's go there for a minute. It's 2030.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that Lisa's gonna take the place a little bit further than you were able.
Yes.
What do you envision? What do you hope for? What vision can you cast to say this will be happening in our school district in the year 2030?
Yeah. Well, she's going to continue to be that balance between our school board and the leadership team, and her authentic personality is going to allow us to push things even further because we know that the greatest movement happens on the edge, right? When
Mhm.
you're vulnerable and you're on the edge, that's when the greatest things happen. And Lisa's the kind of leader, and she's got the respect, Joe, that she's going to help push us to be on the edge. And, when you don't have a change in leadership in 15 years, you have to reinvent yourself and renew yourself and reinvigorate yourself. She's got a different type of renewal and reinvigoration that she's bringing. And that energy is what I think is going to take us to the next level. You're going to see academics continue to thrive. We were just recognized as one of the top 25 school districts in the state,
Woo!
or the
Look
top
at that.
5 in
Screenshot
the
that,
state.
folks. Look at
Yes,
that.
and,
I'm waving your flag today.
thank you. I'm expecting that Lisa's gonna get us 3 or 4 of those in a row, not just have the one from this year. She's gonna build on that and take it to the next level, and she's got some different ideas, which I love,
I love it.
and having her as an assistant for the last 4 years, she's already been pushing us. So this is just gonna be a natural continuation of having a different set of eyes and ears on things, and it's just simply time to hand the baton off. We're in the exchange zone, and I literally am closing in on the exchange zone in the relay race, and I've got the baton out, and I can see her, she's ready for me
Mm,
to give her the baton.
mm. There's no dropping anything. It's gonna be
No,
a seamless transition,
it
and
will be.
I'm
Yeah,
so pumped. And I just wanna say congratulations to
thank you.
you for leading so intentionally and so well. Who can give a gift like that of handing off a system that's solid, secure, has a vision, has built the trust to take it to the next level? So, wow, well done, friend,
Thank you.
well done. And I'm so glad that we're able to catch you before you actually went out for official recess.
Yes.
I'd
Yes,
like to do something fun. I like to do something fun at the end of our, little exchange here today, just to see how real and human you really are, Randy. So, you
absolutely.
ready? Let's do a little bit of a lightning round.
Okay, let's do
Okay.
it.
Do you have a quote that you live by?
Absolutely. Everybody's got their say, not everybody gets their way.
Ah,
A
okay.
and what we do by that is we're gonna value and respect every single person involved. We're gonna show them respect by listening and leaning in to what they're saying and what they're sharing, and you can say whatever you want, and in the end, you know that your opinion is gonna be valued and respected. You just may not get your way, and there's times I haven't got my way as the superintendent, but I always felt like I had an opportunity to give my say,
That's
and
powerful.
I think that our team and our staff and kids here know that they have a say, that they have a voice in this school district. And they may not always get exactly what they want, but they've always got a seat at the table. And that's extremely important, especially in today's day and age.
Morning person or a night owl?
Morning person all the way. Same ritual for almost 40 years, buddy. Yep.
Okay, okay,
Morning person all the way.
metronomic.
Yes.
Seahawks or Gonzaga?
Oh, Gonzaga. Yes.
Zaga, Zaga.
Yes.
How about a decision that you would make 10 times over?
Coming to Freeman.
Look at that, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
wasn't an accident.
no, we were really fortunate. I was the high school principal at Coeur d'Alene. We had an award-winning high school. It was one of the top high schools in the entire Northwest.
Not a bad view either.
No, people are like, "Why would you leave Coeur d'Alene High School to be the superintendent of Freeman?" And now 15 years later, they're like, "Wow, Freeman, we get it. We totally understand."
Yeah, you saw it. How about a guilty pleasure that you may be a little bit embarrassed about?
Oh, buddy, I am ice cream. It's terrible. I last night we had an awards event, which was great. It was recognizing the Hagen Foundation in Spokane, all-star staff members who had been awarded a grant from the Hagen Foundation. I had to stop at Dairy Queen, even though they had these little desserts, Joe, and I had one of them. I had to stop at Dairy Queen on the way home last
Had
night.
to mark that moment.
Yes.
How about a best leadership book that isn't an education book?
My all-time favorite, hands down, The Way of the Shepherd.
Mhm.
I give it to every single new staff member when they get hired at Freeman. It's the story of Freeman, and I hope it's the story of my life, I hope.
That's heavy. That's rich. Okay, yeah, I need a moment there. I'm gonna ask, the 25-year-old Randy Russell, what would he be thinking of you today?
I I hope that he would say that the decision to not go into law school and to become a teacher and a coach, besides getting married to Shauna, was
Mm.
the second best decision you've ever made in your life.
Boom. We could spend another hour, folks, but, I gotta let him get back to serving, not working. Back to serving everybody. Dr. Randy Russell, this has been one of our best exchanges. And here's the lesson, folks. I think the industrial model, it's what we are working to just like reverse, right? It says the school district size, it determines every learner's ceiling. But Randy just spent 30 minutes here proving that the ceiling is really a choice. I love that word choice that he
Yeah.
challenged all of us. It's not a constraint, right? So if you're a rural superintendent watching this and you just needed a bit of a pep talk today, I hope that you replay this. If there's anything that you forgot to say, Randy, if you had the chance to give just one last bit of wisdom or encouragement or just insight to another rural superintendent that is thinking, I can't wait to go, to the other district that might have more money, more opportunities. What piece of advice would you give for them?
Yeah, well, and I've learned this from you too, and from our relationship, Joe, that's grown over the years, and even watching, your shows and what you've shared and the work that
Mhm.
you're doing, and that is that if you want to go fast, you can, and you can do it by yourself. But
Yeah.
if you want to go far, you're going to do it as a part of a team.
Mm.
And a rural superintendent cannot be done in a silo. It cannot just be banked on one person. It's about the team, and it's about working together, and when you do that, you can literally go as far as you wanna go. There is no limit to it.
So good. So good. Is it freemansk12.org?
freemansd.org. Yes, it
SD.
is. Yes.
And if they want to know more about RLR Consulting,
Yep. They can go to www.randyrussell.org. It's got my email, randyrussellconsulting@gmail.com, and it's also got my phone number. Uh, love to love to serve people, Joe, as you know, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. Somebody asked me, "What are you going to do the day after you retire?" I said, "I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and do the same routine I've done for 40 years. Going to figure out how to go help people and try to make things better."
I love the way that you've modeled, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me. I so
Thank you.
appreciate you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Joe.